What about reincarnation? Well, now, I want you to know that being a kind of overworker and with always have too many goals, I desperately wish reincarnation was true. I mean, I fairly often say to Kathy, I say, well, I want to get this done and this done. I want to get this thing written. I want to do this. And every so often Kathy says, you know what, if reincarnation isn't true, you're really screwed. But there's really, even though people try to do it all the time, you can't get reincarnation out of biblical religion. I mean, you've got, for example, there's a place in Hebrews 9 says that it's appointed for us to live once, and after that we're judged. In fact, anyway, in other words, the Bible gives you no. I mean, sometimes people say, isn't there a place where John the Baptist has the spirit of Elijah, and isn't he Elijah come back? Apart from that, but that sort of thing happens all the time where you say he's got the spirit of something. So there's really no... the biggest problem with reincarnation, which is huge, is not just that the Bible doesn't teach it and doesn't say anything toward it, but the real problem with reincarnation is based on the idea of salvation by works. It's everything I've ever read about reincarnation was not that you come back just because it's fun to have 40 lives, but you keep coming back because you still got stuff to do, that you do better, and if you do better, you kind of move on up. And therefore, reincarnation is deeply, deeply antithetical to the idea that you're saved by grace, you're accepted by grace right now on the basis of what Jesus did, not on the basis of what you have done. So it's the exact opposite of that. And therefore, it is an ethical solution. It's actually, in some ways, a comforting one, because if I really screw up in this life, I get another chance. But what does it mean to screw up? If you press anybody who believes in it, it basically means is you got to live a good life, surrender to God, live the right kind of life. So that the reason why it doesn't really mesh with the Bible is not because the Bible has a couple places where it says, when you die you go to heaven or hell. I mean, whenever I've read Christians who try to refute reincarnation, they always say, well, look at these verses that talk about when you die you go one place or the other. That's not really it. The real it is reincarnation goes against the idea that the moment I believe in Jesus Christ, I'm as loved by God that minute as I will ever be. 1 billion years from now, when I'm perfectly pure and bright and radiant and brilliant, and I am not more loved then than I will be now. That's what the Bible means by justification by faith. And that kind of makes reincarnation unnecessary. So those are... obviously, I just sort of slammed. I know I just slammed reincarnation pretty bad, but I'm just trying to be concise and say I can understand. To me, the doctrine of reincarnation has always been attractive. I don't seem to be able to fit it in with what the Bible says.